It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show brings you famous celebrities and amazing people from all over the world. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. So sit back and relax and enjoy the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play and Apple, Stitcher, and TuneIn. You can also catch the Mike Wagner Show on Overcast and Shoutbox. And subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on YouTube channel. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. We're here once again with Kansas City comedian Jeff Vaughn, actor-comedian from the Heartland. He's got some new releases out, Monsters of the Night and Headcheese The Movie starring Richie Ramone. He's been very busy lately ever since we talked, and he worked in the corporate world and got into comedy, avid golfer, and we'll save our golf game for another time, but this is Christmas time, and he's got some great stories, a lot of things come up in 2020, and of course, he's not a proven liar, so we'll prove that. Ladies and gentlemen, live from Kansas City on this Christmas time, comedian Jeff Vaughn. Jeff, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us, and Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you. What an introduction. I always marvel at that and wonder if you ever take a breath.
Me take a breath? That's like telling a wolf not to murder the sheep or be nice to him. That's how I do it.
You'd be a good scuba diver. You wouldn't even need a tank to go down with you.
Or I have to carry maybe a max size or something. It's like a lifetime of being underwater.
But it's always impressive.
Well, and of course, we're impressed with you as well, too. It's always good to have you again, Jeff, being out of Kansas City. And, your Christmas time, it gets cold and everything else. But then you're also going to warm up with some new releases. And go ahead and tell us all about your new releases and especially what's coming up for 2020.
Yeah, I tell you what, I have been really busy this year. I've done some comedy, not as much as usual, but I've done some comedy, some shows at some comedy clubs. But I've mainly been busy with a couple of films, and it has really been a lot of fun. One of the ones I did first was called, and you mentioned the name of it, was The Monsters Hunt at Night. And that it's written by Joseph Pekin. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name the right way. Written and directed by him, and then also Zach Rao has a lot to do with the film. I'm not sure exactly what his titles are in it, but he does a lot of the film. He's the one that contacted me to do the movie because I've done some other film work with him. But it was tons of fun, and it actually premieres. Probably going to premiere before this interview broadcast, but they're going to have some more premieres in some other larger theaters. There premieres this Friday, November, can I say the date, even though it's going to be outdated? Anyway, it premieres this Friday at the Greenland Topgate Theater in the Crossroads District here in Kansas City. So I'll be there Friday to see my face on the big screen, and I play a bad guy.
Ooh, bad guys. We love them.
Unusual. I always play like sheriffs or cops or FBI agents and that sort of thing, but I play a bad guy in this. I'm into child trafficking.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it's the whole movie's it's just based on a short story named Popsy by Stephen King. Mm-hmm. So it's just this eerie, creepy horror type film that you can expect from it being from a Stephen King story. So it was lots of fun and really talented cast and crew that I've been exposed to. I just I don't have a huge part in it, but so I didn't get exposed to all the cast, but a lot of the crew and some of the cast. But it was a lot of fun. They're real talented, and it was amazing. The part I did was done in a brightly lit office, but they wanted to make it look like a sinister, dungeony type office. So, man, they play with the lighting and do all sorts, put screens up and stuff. And then when you see it, it looks like I'm sitting in a cave, even though I'm sitting in a brightly lit office. So, anyway.
I can imagine this, the sinister office.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to push you through the shredder, and I'm going to poison your coffee.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be hot and sweaty, and they kept spraying water in my face, so I looked like I was sweating, and so it was pretty interesting. And I've seen the trailer. People, if they want to see it, they can go to YouTube and find the trailer on YouTube under The Monsters Hunt at Night. It's only a minute long, but I'm in the trailer 3 times. And it's the movie. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I have not seen it other than the trailer. It looks like it's really well done, so I'm looking forward to checking it out.
And once again, tell everybody where can they find the film?
Well, right now it's just been premiered at a theater here in Kansas City, and then after that, you know what? That's a good question, and I'm not real sure. I'm going down early on Friday. We're having a little meeting with the cast and crew. I'll probably find out a little more about it then. But I would assume DVDs and maybe Amazon and those sorts of outlets. But I don't have a good answer for you on that. I do have answers for you on the other film I was in because I was a little more involved in it. But this one. All I know is premiere this Friday, and it looks like it's going to be really good. So hopefully people will check it out.
It's amazing. Looking forward to it as well, too. And, of course, you got the big one that's coming up in your mind, Headcheese the Movie, and you're involved with Richie Ramone from the Ramones. And tell us all about that. I'm excited about this one.
It's really cool. It's a full-length motion picture. And, again, Headcheese the Movie, It's I'm not sure really how to describe it, but it's set in a small town, Dark Marsh, Texas, and it revolves around some drug-addicted, flesh-eating inbred trolls.
Yummy!
Yeah, but even though there's a lot of people getting killed and stuff, it's still kind of a little on the campy, fun side, and so it was just tons of fun. It was lots of fun people to work with, and I worked on this one for quite a while. Matter of fact, it's still in production. I think it actually we started filming on this probably early summer, maybe.
Wow.
And we just got done filming. I went in this week, I think it was, and did some final stuff in front of a green screen. So that filming's going to be going on for months. And then, of course, they're going to have to, the powers that be, which is Robbie Lopez, he's the writer, director, he's everything, brains of the movie. Then it's going to take him months to pull all this, all the filming together and scenes and put music to it and whatever stuff he does and cut it down to an hour and a half or hour 45 or however long the movie's going to be. So it's not going to premiere till April.
April 2020. We'll be on the lookout for it. And it was like working with Richie Ramone for the Ramones.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. I didn't know what to expect. He's been with the Ramones for nearly 40 years. And, of course, you're familiar with them. They're the fathers/grandfathers of punk rock. So I was like, man, this is really going to be interesting. But what a great guy he is. And we hit it off immediately. He's a big golfer, which you would never guess.
A golfer, really?
One of the biggest punk rock guys in the world is a golfer, and he's better than me. He's a 7 handicap.
7 handicap. And what's your handicap as well?
It's about a 10 right now.
Oh, my gosh.
It's been lower, but it seemed like the older I get, the worse I get. But so anyway, he was fantastic to work with, and he'll be back in April for the movie premiere, and so we're going out and playing golf for 2 or 3 days.
Now we be in Kansas City to play golf with him, or where's he going to be at? Oh, nice. Okay.
He'll be coming to Kansas City, so he's going to build in about 2 or 3 extra days just so he can go to the golf course several days and play. So, but yeah, terrific, just as down to earth as you can believe. And he hadn't done a lot of movies. He's done a lot of rock videos and that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So this was kind of new to him, but he did great. He was a natural and lots of fun and just I just working with him. I couldn't have any better things to say. It was just a real pleasure, and it's kind of interesting too. You sit around and talk about stuff, and he'll make references like, "Yeah, I was sitting around talking to Sid Vicious about that the other day," And I'm like, wait a minute, you going from Sid Vicious to hanging around with me? What a change! What a change in social circles he's got, So it's really really great guy, and he did it. Like I said, he did a great job. But there's also a trailer out on it too, and people can find it on YouTube. They can just go in and on YouTube and put in Headcheese the Movie, and it should pop up.
Headcheese the Movie. We'll keep an eye on it. And also, when we have you on 2020, let us know how Richie did in his golf game against you, and you can give us a little story about that. I'd love to hear how you guys did in golf against each other.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be a hoot. So I can't wait for him to come in and do that. So that'll be fun. But yeah, actually, everybody on this, I've met so many nice new people. Again, they spent months doing it, so you meet and interact with a lot of people. But everybody was great. Robbie Lopez, like I said, he's the brains behind it all. He's been fantastic to work with and did an impressive job on the writing and directing, and just everything's first class. Equipment for the movie, and I guess I couldn't say better things about it. If people want to keep up with it, they've got a Facebook page called Furious Figures and Crude Comics. And on that Facebook page, people can keep up with the movie and see pictures of the filming and maybe some clips and that sort of thing. So if anybody wants to keep up with it, they should go to Furious Figures and Crude Comics Facebook page and find out about it. But yeah, Richie, terrific guy. But some of the other people I worked with, if I can just spend a minute talking about them, I'd like to just give them some recognition because they were so much fun. Alicia Page, she's the lead actress in the movie. She's very talented. I tell you what, she's the best screamer I ever heard in my life. Oh my God, there's a top 100 scream list in Hollywood, and I told her, I said, if you don't make it this year, you should, because I can't imagine anybody screaming any better than she does. But she plays Richie's pretty love interest, and she's a waitress at the local diner in Dark Marsh, Texas. But and she was lots of fun too. Just a hoot. Actually, one night when we were filming, we filmed really, really late one night, and it was about midnight probably. And we were going to take a little break before we did a little more filming. And she needed to get gas in her car, and I needed to get some Cokes and stuff. And so I went with her to the Quick Trip. And this Quick Trip, is for people listening that may not know what it is. It's a convenience store, but it's huge, big store and gas station and stuff. It's open 24 hours a day. We pulled in, and I never really thought about it. I play a sheriff in this movie, so I'm back to what I normally do, playing a small town sheriff. So I've got on my sheriff's uniform, sheriff's badge. Thought nothing about it when we went to this Quick Trip, and she is covered in blood, and covered in movie blood, obviously. And so here I am, sheriff. Here she is, covered in movie blood. And I'm like, you better pump the gas. I'll go in the store and get the stuff. But you should have seen the looks we got. I would love to hear what people said after they went home, after seeing the bloody gal and the sheriff with her, and all the speculation as to what the hell that was all about. But anyway, it was interesting. Yeah, she did an absolutely great job, and you'll have to look forward to her screaming in the movie. And then like I said, I play a sheriff in it, and small town sheriff, and my deputy, he's played by Chris Stimmick, and Chris does a great job. He's kind of the kind of a bit of comic relief in the movie, kind of my Barney Fife sidekick. So, like I told you, it's the movie, even though it's horror and blood, all this stuff, it's still kind of campy, funny stuff going on too, and he does that, and he did a great job on that. So we had really good chemistry. I really enjoyed working with him too.
That was amazing too. It makes you wonder, where's Andy when you need him?
Yeah, well, we don't know where Andy is. So maybe I'm taking Andy's spot, but yeah, there's just a lot of talented people. Adam Daniels, he plays one of the bad guys, and he was an interesting guy too. In addition to doing a good job in the movie, his hobby, he travels around the country. He may do it professionally. I don't know if he get paid for this or not, but he does medieval fighting.
Oh, really?
Full armor and maces and clubs, and he's a great big guy. He showed me videos of him doing it, and these guys got armor on and whacking each other with maces and stuff. It's amazing, but he travels all around and does that. So it was, like I said, I met a lot of interesting new friends on this movie. They all did a great job, but they're all interesting, fun people as well.
I can imagine that, too. We've been to some medieval fests as well, too, and there's some that, like you said, just travel all over the country and whatever else. I mean, for us back in the day, we're just content to watch, and the medieval I get was having a big thing of beer and a turkey leg.
Yeah, that's in mine, too. A Scottish egg or something like that they throw in on the side. But, yeah, I'm with you. I'd be sitting in the audience with you watching them bang each other's brains out while we drank beer, but I'd hate to get hit by them. They were big guys. They hit. I can't even know how they stood up after they do it.
Or could imagine jousting as well too in real life. I tried that even with like the those toy ponies and those rubber mallets. It's like you go to the side. I got annihilated after one hit. I could not even take a George Brett swing or a Mike Moustakis swipe for the fences. Just like as soon as I tried that, the other guy, yeah, he knocked me out cold. So I have to gear up for my jousting practices. Otherwise, I have to play a bar, just sing along like a minstrel. And of course, my wife would try to be a queen, although she wanted to be like those wenches. Like, no, you're not a wench. You're too nice for it. It's like you got to be a queen. So I'd say if we're medieval, it's like look out for that, or maybe you can be like I guess a prince or something. It's like or jester, whatever you call it. So we're just looking forward to all kinds of good stuff here. I'll tell you.
Oh yeah, and like I said, there was just tons of really good people in it. The guy named Doug Todd, he does everything in the movie. He's a jack of all trades. Not only is he an actor in the movie, but he helped on lighting and sound and special effects, and he did everything. And thinking of that, Rachel Hatchett, she does hair and makeup and special effects for the movie too. But one day there was a smoke machine in the movie, and it set the smoke alarm off.
Oh no!
I mean, sirens going like crazy, and she ended up on on Adam's shoulders, the big dude that does the medieval fighting and stuff. She ended up on his shoulders, trying to dismantle stuff in the ceiling. So she went way over and beyond her hair and makeup and special effects duties. She, as a matter of fact, I got a really good picture of it too. But she did great. But yeah, lots of. Actually, I was surprised one day I showed up and Richard Montano, who's a local comedian, he was there. He was a last-minute addition to the cast, and I knew him. I couldn't believe when he walked in, but he did a great job. He plays the owner of the local diner and did a terrific job with it. And kind of even though the diner is seen of a lot of stuff, shall I say, he had a little comic relief to it too. So it was lots of fun. And Ben Ulrich, he plays one of the main bad guys, and we had some other cast and crew: Sean Matlock, Sarah Baker, Ernie Yates, Jason Bruca, Liz Hackworth. Cleveland was the main cinematographer on it. Ryan Paxton helped with some of the film work, and Maverick Bolin, he did a little bit of everything. So I mean, I hate to go on and on, but I probably left people out. Now I mentioned so many, and I probably forgot some. I'm going to tick somebody off, but I just they do. So many people see what goes on in front of the camera. They don't really see and appreciate the great job that on certain films, certainly was on these two that I'm talking about, on the Monstrous Hunt at Night, on Headcheese the Movie, all the terrific, first-class professional work that goes on behind the scenes, and all the, we sit around for doing nothing for 30 minutes to an hour, twiddling our thumbs and BSing around while these people are working, getting stuff set up, so they work hard the entire time.
And it's very appreciated, too. So Headcheese the Movie, featuring Richie Ramone also in it, and you're also part of the cast, and that's going to be coming out in April 2020. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and also it's going to be released on Amazon Prime, DVDs, and a bunch of other stuff. So that'll be after the April 2020 premiere. So I'll keep you posted. I know you and I are on Facebook, so you can keep up with it on there. And then here's a bit of interesting news. I just found out this week when I told you earlier, I went in and did some last minute stuff in front of a green screen, and I found out that this has been okayed for a TV web series on Amazon Prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so the name of it's going to be Disturb and Protect.
Disturb and Protect.
Yeah, and it's going to be, again, this kind of campy, goofy stuff going on. And the sheriff, me, and my deputy, and then there's going to be, I guess each episode will be some kind of weird, Sasquatch shows up, or, who knows what goes on in Dark Marsh, Texas. But it's going to be fun. But they've going to prepare 3 or 4 pilot episodes, and it's going to play on there. Probably be shooting those in March and April sometime. So maybe, soon after that, spring, summer, it'll be on Amazon Prime for a few episodes, and hopefully they'll like it and pick it up for more. But that's become pretty big. I've even been seeing commercials on TV for a web series on Amazon Prime. I saw one of the guys from The Office, Jim, I can't think of his real name. He's in some Jack Clancy series that's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, so wow.
So they're really getting big time on that. So I was really excited to hear this was going to be a TV series on there, or potentially it's at least going to have several pilot episodes. Disturb and Protect in Dark Marsh, Texas. So that'll be fun and something to look forward to next year as well. Dark
Marsh, Texas, and Disturb and Protect makes me want to move there.
yeah, but it's like I said, it's just been a hoot, and it's kept me busy all year. And like I said, I've still done some comedy here and there, but mainly movie stuff, and I've really, really enjoyed it. And you wouldn't realize how much work goes into that. Obviously, the crew does most of the work, but even for the actors, you spend lots of time rehearsing and learning lines, and going through stuff all the time, and then 8 million takes while things are switched around, and it's very time consuming, but it's really, really interesting. A lot of times when I'm not even involved in stuff going on, I like to sit and watch, because it's just so much fun to see how they make this stuff, because when you see it on the screen, it's nothing like what you're seeing during the making of it, so it's really cool how they do it all.
Mm-hmm. You can point out to family and friends and say, hey, this is what I've done, this is how we do it, and everything else. And I've talked to some producers and directors lately as well, too, and they put such effort, their heart and soul into a movie. I mean, it's just amazing what they put out as well, too, and they do just a great job. And to all movie people out there, we salute you at this whole bottom line.
Oh, no kidding, because this, like I mentioned, Robbie Lopez behind the Headcheese movie, his heart and soul's in it, and several of the people I mentioned that work closely with him, they are at it. I swear they're at it 24 hours a day, because that's just their life's consumed with it. So you really got to appreciate all that they pour into that, not just heart and soul, but finances and everything else that goes with it. So they're really, really got my respect on the people behind the scenes on both of these movies I talked about.
Definitely will. And of course, heading into Christmas break, they can kick back and appreciate and get back in. And speaking of break, you listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without break your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and Apple. Also on Stitcher, TuneIn, Overcast, Shoutbox, and more. Also take the Mike Wagner Show there on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Well, speaking of YouTube, we're here with comedian Jeff Vaughn from Kansas City. We talked about Monsters of the Night and the upcoming movie in 2020, Headcheese The Movie, featuring Richie Ramone. And you also have a YouTube clip as well, too, before we talk about our Christmas break. And they say you're a proven liar coming up in an election year. But before we talk about that, we'll play this clip and we'll see if Jeff is a proven liar or not. We're going to find out here in just a minute.
I did it. I never really wanted to.
Are you going to play the clip right now?
But there was a need that wasn't being filled.
Okay, cool.
Nobody else would do it. I figured if nobody would do it, maybe I should be the one. So I jumped in. It was an easy choice, really. It's not like I had to think about it or a whole lot or anything like that, or that I have to do anything, really, anyway. I mean, there have been plenty of people do it before me. Some are better at it, some are worse. I guess it depends on your approach and how willing you are to truly be hands-off. I never really wanted to be in it. In fact, that's why I'm not running for anything.
Jeff Vaughn, a proven liar.
I'm Jeff Vaughn, and I approve this message.
Hey, I told you last week, get out.
Jesus.
You're not running through anything. You just wanted a sign. I guess that's the whole bottom line to it.
It is. And, I of course, you just told me today that you'd seen those. We did those a couple of years ago. I think it was during the 2016 elections. And Michael Moore, who's an airline pilot for American Airlines, but he dabbles in cinematography and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've done a couple of projects with him. And so I did those with him, and he videoed all of them. And not only is that one that you just played, and that's a friend of mine's wife at the end, one of my golfing buddies. We did it in front of his house, and that's her coming out to run me out of the yard. But, yeah, that sign says, Jeff Vaughn, I'm not running for anything. I just wanted a sign.
And of course,
Michael had that sign made up.
In fact, there's a lot of people out there stealing signs. They're saying they're not running for anything, not voting. They just want a sign and something to keep and maybe just keep it aside for many years and one day cash it in, like on eBay or Amazon or, take it to an auction. It's just like, similar to, stealing Ronald Reagan signs or Jimmy Carter or say with the Bushes, Clinton, anything like that. Just steal those signs and just hope to God they make some money like 50 years down the road. So.
I think I'm safe. Nobody will want to steal my signs, so my signs will be safe. But as I mentioned too, we did a couple more of those. We did one of me at the Republican debate and one of me at the Democratic debate. So I'll send you those videos when I find them, and they're on Michael Moore's YouTube channel. But that's good detective work on your part to find that. That's interesting. They were tons of fun to do and put together, and just they're barely a minute long, so people have time to watch them. Without thinking, well, that's too long to watch. So, and they're silly as could be. So, yeah, lots of fun with those. We'll have to get them back out with the election coming up again.
And definitely we'll have you on before the election as well, too, or somewhere around there. Talk about your movies, talk about A Proven Liar and everything else. But, we'll talk about what's coming up in 2020. But right now, as you head towards the Christmas break, and, of course, this is a time where people want to stop what they're doing. They want to relax, go home to family, loved ones, hug their pets, go out with friends. And, while we take a Christmas break and everything else, and I plan for a little bit, and maybe you can just share some heartwarming Christmas stories or maybe a little Christmas comedy. And I think you got some interesting stories to share about Christmas as well, too, for our listeners.
Well, I'll share a semi-heartwarming and a real silly one. How about that?
That would be perfect.
Okay. Well,
pull out the eggnog, guys.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell the semi-heartwarming one first. Not really heartwarming, but just it's kind of goofy. But the other one's real silly. But when I was younger, but like 2 or 3 years old, and I've got a sister that's 2 years older than me, and of course Santa Claus would come. We'd go to sleep Christmas Eve night, and Santa Claus would come sometime before we wake up Christmas morning. Well, my sister figured out that happened really early at some point in time. So she started waking me up probably the first time about 5 o'clock in the morning, and the next year like 2 o'clock in the morning. And so my parents finally got sick of us getting up at, barely go to bed, and then they're getting up because the kids had got up to see what Santa brought. So they wised up, and they started, we would go out to look at Christmas lights, usually was the ruse. Like, kids, get in the car, we're going to go out and look at Christmas lights. And then when we got back to the house, well, lo and behold, Santa had been to the house while we were out looking for Christmas lights. And so that way, my folks didn't have to get up at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning and watch us open Christmas presents and scream and they get no sleep at all. So that became the new tradition. After the new tradition of waking them up in the middle of the night only lasted about 2 Christmases before that got changed. So that became the new Christmas tradition in the Vaughn household, thanks to my conniving sister that would drag her little brother out of bed to do it. Of course, I learned that was cool as hell to do. But,
or maybe she
wised up quick.
Or maybe she influenced you into comedy in a sense with that shtick right there.
Well, maybe. Well, and that was my other Christmas deal I was going to share with you is, and it's family oriented as well, but it's and has to do with my family, and I actually talk about this one when I'm on stage in comedy, but and before I start out, I always ask people, because I usually you can only tell this joke around Christmas time, because you can't tell it in the middle of July, because people are like, why is he telling a Christmas story in July? Mm-hmm. So it's very, very short, small window to be able to tell this. But I always ask people before I start, I said, who here thinks Christmas would be a perfectly good day if you didn't have to spend it with your relatives? And it's amazing the response I get from that question from a crowd. It's like, wow, really? What do you do it for then? But everybody always hoots and screams, so I get a kick out of that because it gets everybody all wired up and yelling and stuff. But yeah, this one Christmas, and again, it's family oriented, but this one Christmas, my no good thieving ex-con cousin Ricky showed up. Uh-oh. And we hadn't seen him for years. And, he was always stealing stuff. He stole from us as kids. He stole from us adults. They stole from some other people. He got caught, so he got thrown in prison. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we hadn't seen him for years. And he shows up this one Christmas out of nowhere, totally unannounced. He shows up and says he's a changed man. He said he had found religion.
Amazing.
Yeah, he said, I found religion. And I said, hey, how about finding some of that stuff you stole from me in high school? I told him, I said, hey, I want my 8-track tapes back.
8 tracks? Oh, my God.
Yeah. I say, you can tell how old you are because you know what I'm talking about.
And those were treasured as gold before the cassette came over, then the CD, and, of course, MP3, and now vinyl is back. Will 8 tracks make a comeback? I guess that's
I don't know, but, yeah, it was unbelievable. I tell you, and then he corners me in one of the rooms. He corners me for like 45 minutes, told me about his new religion. 45 minutes. I didn't think I could ever get away from him. But then my dad comes in, and my dad saves me by using dad logic. Because my dad comes running in, he says, he comes busting the room and says, hey, Christmas is no time to be talking about religion. Yeah, I'm like, thanks, Dad.
That's a good way of getting out. But then if you're cornered for 45 minutes, you're trying to find a way. You're like, praise God, I can do something else.
Yeah. So anyway, that was his way of getting me out. It worked, but it's silly. Anyway, that's my silly family Christmas story, and that one I share with audience. And I always actually take it a little step further and tell them that my cousin Ricky brought his new girlfriend with him too, and none of us liked her. She had this tattoo of a sailor on her left breast.
Ooh.
And I thought to myself, you know what? Someday she's going to be a grandmother, and that sailor, he's going to be a lot taller then.
Son of a sailor, sailor. Oh, my gosh. It's like Popeye 2 coming at you.
Anyway, so that's my silly Christmas. That's my silly Christmas story. We've all got all sorts of great Christmas memories, but those two popped in my head. How our family Christmas tradition changed with my sister dragging me out of bed as little kids, and we went through that. And actually, we still, as family, celebrated on Christmas Eve today, just because eventually that's when we were opening presents, Christmas Eve, because Santa always came when we were out looking at Christmas lights. So it came all these jillion years later. That's Christmas Eve. That's when our family opens presents and does their big Christmas stuff.
That is amazing. You guys still get together for Christmas. You still have fun, pranks and everything else. And I'm going to share my Christmas story. I was about 7 years old living in Wisconsin, and I get up and wonder, hey, where's Santa? Where's Santa? I hear this rattling going on. It's like, is Santa here? And next thing you know it, I hear this rattling, shake, rattle, and roll, and then our Christmas tree, it's like our folks bought brand new ornaments, brand new lights, and it's all pine, comes crashing down, and our black cat just comes out of there on the top and was just scared as heck. And I went, oh, no. It's like brand new ornaments my folks bought, and it was all smashed. And thank God the presents were smashed, and everybody's like, what's going on? It's like, no, Santa did not arrive. It was our cat just getting up on top. So, well,
it was a kitty cat. It was a Claus, but CLAWS instead of CLAUS, right?
Yes, that's right. I think about that. Santa Claus. We'll have to call her Santa from now on.
Actually, if your cat just came out of the litter box, he could be Sandy Claus.
Sandy Claus, yeah. I guess it was trying to go up for amusement. They see a star. Oh, it's amusing. I want to take a look. And next second, the tree fell, and the cat just ran out there like a bat out of hell. And I said, that was that cat that knocked over the Christmas tree and smashed the ornaments. Thank God the presents weren't hurt. But it was
not
just
my fault.
Yes, exactly. They try to blame somebody. They try to blame Santa Claus. But yes, it was a cat this time. The cat gave a look like, yeah, I did it. And didn't give a look like, what are you going to do about it? It's like...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my goodness. All right. So we're here with comedian Jeff Vaughn from Kansas City. He's got new releases, Monster of the Night, and also Headcheese The Movie, featuring Richie Ramone, coming out in April 2020. And, of course, just one last thing around Christmas time. What's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Oh, gosh. Just do what you want to do. Like I've always said, if you want to do something, you can do it. I'm living proof of that. I was in the corporate world and decided I wanted to do comedy, and I did it, and decided I'd like to try acting, and I did it with no experience in either one. So just if you set a goal for 2020, just whatever you want to do it, and you can get it done, because I have, and if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That is amazing, too. And once again, Jeff, thank you very much for your time. You've been fantastic. I'd like to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2020. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, and where can people find your movies and also find your comedy material?
Well, they can find me on Facebook is the best place. Jeff Vaughn on my Facebook page. And if they're Facebook friends with you, they can just search me on there, or just hopefully just find me on Facebook. Probably lots of Jeff Vaughns, but my picture, my profile picture of me in a white jacket on stage in the Stardome Comedy Club in Birmingham, Alabama, a big red background that says Stardome behind me. So that's my profile page. But on that, I post lots of silly, stupid stuff, never anything serious. So if anybody ever wants to just take a break from the humdrum seriousness of life, they can come to my page and find that. And then also what I'm doing, whether it be comedy shows or movies and or whatever. So that's the best place. And then on my Facebook page, they can find links to my website and how to contact my agent and lots of stuff. So Facebook page is kind of my main spot to find me. So I would hope to hear from everybody. If anybody's on there and they send me stuff or comment on stuff, I always respond to them. So I've got lots of friends I've never even met on there, and really good, fun people that I communicate with all the time.
That is amazing, too. And also, I forgot to ask you as well, too, where will we be touring in 2020? Where are some of the upcoming comedy dates?
Well, I don't have any dates for 2020 right now. That's a little far in the future. Actually, my dates I'm setting in right now revolve around these movies, because with Headcheese, we're going to do filming of the TV pilot in March and April, and then we've got all sorts of these shows coming up, like Comic-Con, but I think the science fiction, are you familiar with those? Comic-Con, I think they call them.
Yes, we are, Comic-Cons.
Yeah, and then there's like some sort of science fiction counterpart to that, but they have these gigantic conventions in large cities, and I know we got some coming up in Houston and Minneapolis and a bunch of places, and we're going to be there promoting this movie Headcheese, and I'll be there with Richie Ramone, and Robbie Lopez will be there, and some other people from the film, and But coming to those things, people like, Eddie Munster and all these guys from old horror shows and movies are there, and everybody's got booths, which we'll have, and for pictures and talks and autographs and movie screenings, and so I got lots of that stuff coming up in 2020 just to help promote the movie and get the TV thing going. But there'll be comedy shows as well. But right now, I don't have them booked that far out because that's quite a ways out to book a comedy.
Sounds great. Okay, we'll be talking in 2020, Jeff, and a big thank you for your time once again. Looking forward to having you again soon in 2020, and like to wish you and your family very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll see you down the road in 2020.
Mike, thank you very much. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you and your family, too. I always love being on your show. It's amazing the number of people I get comments from being on this, because you do such a great job interviewing and bring out interesting things to talk about, and I get tons of comments on it. So I always appreciate you having me on.
Thank you very much, Jeff. That was very heartwarming. You've been always fantastic, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2020. I love having you on.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Listen online at themikewagnershow.com and on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And watch the interview on YouTube. Also, become a sponsor of the program or donate today at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again tomorrow for another episode of The Mike Wagner Show.